Let me tell you about the day I realized nobody is safe from the kind of person who'll look you right in the eye while stealing everything you thought was sacred, not even in your own living room, not even when you're sitting there with a fresh cup of coffee thinking, life's finally slowed down. It started with a sound, just a little metallic click in the front door that sent this cold shiver up my spine. You know, the feeling, like when you sense a storm coming before it hits. I nearly dropped my mug right there on the floor because I sure as hell hadn't given anybody a key, and my mind's racing through every scenario, none of them good. You ever had one of those moments where reality splits, and part of you is waiting for a package while the other part is convinced you're about to get robbed? I launched myself out of my chair, heartbeat thumping so hard I could feel it in my teeth, only to come face to face with Tara Peterson standing in my entryway like she owned the joint. That's right, Tara, our HOA president. 52 buns so tight you'd swear it was holding her thoughts together, navy blazer sharp enough to cut glass. She's holding a clipboard and giving my house the kind of look realtors use when they're mentally counting their commission. The anger that burned through me was instant raw electric. The kind of thing that makes your hands shake and your jaw clench so hard you forget your own name. For a second, I couldn't speak. I mean, how do you even start that conversation? This was my sanctuary, and here she is walking through my living room cool as a cucumber, like she'd been there 1,000 times before. This is a routine inspection based on neighbor complaints. She says, voice like gravel in a blender, flashing some documents that might as well have been drawn in crayon. HOA has emergency access, right, she adds, as if I should be thanking her for busting into my home. I'm standing there, fist clenched, telling her flat out, you need to leave. Now. But she just smirks, makes some crack about my blue vase on the mantel. Funny thing is, you can't even see that vase from the door, which means she's been deeper in my house than any so-called inspector should. That detail haunted me, even as my son David came barreling down the stairs looking ready to take on a whole army. David, 23, law student, home to help out since his grandma's been sick. He doesn't waste time on small talk. Show me the legal authorization for this entry, he says, calm and cold as a judge. And you could see it. Tara's hand started to tremble, the fake authority draining right out of her. She's fumbling papers, voice cracking, trying to hold on to whatever little power trip she's been riding. David's grilling her sharp and relentless. Where's your bylaw, your written consent, your court order? The more he pressed, the redder she got until she's retreating toward the door, muttering something about safety inspections, eyes darting everywhere like a trapped animal. That's when I should have known we were dealing with something way darker than HOA overreach. The second Tara was out the door, I did a sweep of the house, found desk papers askew, photos turned nightstand items, nudged just enough that only someone who lives there would notice. David's eyes locked on mine, and in that instant I saw the switch flip. This was no longer about some busybody with a clipboard. "Dad," he says, voice low, "what just happened here is criminal trespass at the very least. She's not supposed to have a key, let alone enter without your consent." Let me back up a sec. David didn't fall into law by accident. Back at our old place, we spent months getting squeezed by an HOA that fined us for everything from mailbox color to weeds on the fence. And David swore he'd become the kind of lawyer who could protect families like ours from that kind of harassment. So when he says something's illegal, I believe him. While I'm still reeling, we hear a gentle knock. Mrs. Taylor from down the street, silver hair, soft eyes. But that day she looks like she's carrying the world's secrets. She sits at our kitchen table and starts telling us what she's seen Tara entering houses when folks are away, always with that same little bag. Turns out Mrs. Taylor spent 30 years in housing law compliance. She knows criminal behavior when she sees it, and she's been documenting Tara's comings and goings for months. "She's not just in your house, but at least 5 others, she says, voice shaking. Always looking around, always leaving with something. You ever get that punch in the gut feeling like when you realize you should have trusted your gut all along? That's how I felt hearing her talk. David's grilling her now, precise as a prosecutor, dates, time specifics. Mrs. Taylor says she's been afraid to speak out, but seeing Tara walk into my house in broad daylight was the last straw. The three of us are sitting there stunned as the pieces start to fit together. This isn't an overzealous HOA president. This is systematic theft, a predator using her position as cover. David dives into California law, pulling up civil codes. HOA can fine you, sure, but nobody's got the right to enter your home without permission or court order. No master keys, no emergency clauses for routine inspections. That blue vase comment gnawed at me, so David checks our doorbell camera. We watch heart in my throat as Tara unlocks our door on 3 different days, sometimes inside for nearly an hour, always with that damn bag. After I notice valuables shifted, cash, missing jewelry disturbed. It wasn't paranoia. After all, she'd been through my wife's keepsakes, my own dresser, even the spare change jar. Mrs. Taylor returns the next morning with a fat folder, logs, photos, witness statements. Turns out she's been building a case, collecting data like a pro. Other neighbors come forward too, items missing, things just not right. David goes full detective, cataloging everything, setting up hidden cameras, marking valuables with invisible ink, tracking serial numbers. We're not just waiting for the police, we're building an airtight case. But there's a twist. Turns out Tara used to work at a realty company, making duplicate keys before new families even moved in. She's been targeting the vulnerable, the elderly, the sick people going through crisis, anybody less likely to notice something gone or to fight back. She knows our routines, our weak spots, cold, calculated, and absolutely predatory. 4 days into our stakeout, Tara starts warning neighbors about a crime wave. The gall, right? The real criminal pretending to protect us. That Friday, cameras catch her unlocking our front door again. She heads straight for the valuables, takes the bait jewelry marked cash electronics. This time, though, Detective Martinez and the police are waiting outside. As Tara walks out, bag in hand, she's arrested on our front lawn, handcuffed with all the evidence in the world. Her car's full of stolen property from at least 6 homes. But here's the gut punch, the real reason behind her crime spree: gambling debts, over $60,000 loan sharks circling. Every theft was just another bet, another desperate move to stay ahead of disaster. Her lawyer tries to intimidate us, classic defense move, but David, cool as ever, keeps our case rock solid. In court, Tara looks nothing like the power-hungry woman who broke into my home. She's exposed, desperate. Her lies falling apart under mountains of evidence, videos, witness testimony, Mrs. Taylor's logs, David's airtight documentation. The final twist. The police find Tara wasn't working alone. She'd been selling stolen goods through an interstate ring, using fake names, exploiting realty contacts across 4 states for years. Hundreds of families, not just ours. When the verdict comes, there's a wave of relief, 30 months in prison, restitution for all victims, and a permanent ban from any position of trust. Our neighborhood's never been the same, but in the best way. Families bonded by adversity, real leadership stepping up, transparency in every meeting. David's now interning at a law firm, writing about community abuse and fighting for people just like us. Mrs. Taylor became our safety coordinator. The story hit the news, spread through other communities, even sparked new state laws for HOA oversight and property crime. If one good thing came out of this, it's knowing we helped protect the next person from going through hell just to feel safe in their own home. So what would you have done in my shoes? Ever had an authority figure use your trust against you? Tell me your story. Comment below. Argue it out. Share what justice means to you. And hey, if you want more real-life stories that'll keep you thinking long after the video ends, hit subscribe. Stick around. Because trust me, this world is wilder than any fiction you've read, and sometimes the only way out is to fight back one neighbor at a time.